we welcome to you in a third part of a Schrodinger's equation to solve for harmonic oscillator. So in first part we have seen the classical picture of harmonic oscillator. In second one we have seen a quantum mechanical in which we came up to the eigenvalue, that is the eigenvalue En is equal to n plus 1/2 h cross omega, and from that we have find out a different energy spectrum for your harmonic oscillator. Okay, so in third part we are going to see eigenfunctions for that corresponding to the each energy level, and from that we have to find a probability density of corresponding state. So this a psi zeta is equal to a h of zeta e raised to minus zeta square by 2. We have substituted this zeta is equal to alpha x, and therefore this zeta square is equal to alpha square x square. Okay, and therefore this equation we can write as a psi of alpha x is equal to a h of alpha x e raised to minus zeta square, so that is the alpha square x square by 2, alpha square x square by 2. Okay, now this equation is for psi and alpha. Alpha is a constant, therefore we can write as only a psi of x is equal to a h of alpha x e raised to minus alpha x square by 2. Okay, now we have the energy En is equal to n plus 1/2. So different energy En is equal to n plus 1/2 h cross omega, and therefore this energy is depend on number n, so that is the n is equal to 0, 1, 2 and so on, and therefore this equation, this wave function is also should be depends on what are the different values of the n. So there is a different equation for your psi n, and therefore so that can be written in terms of a psi n of x is equal to an hn of alpha x e raised to minus alpha square x square by 2. Okay, and where this an is nothing but a normalization constant, and this normalization constant can be find out using our regular method. So that is the or the integration from minus to infinite is psi n star psi n dx is equal to 1. Okay, so this equation can be written as minus to infinity. So this an square an square hn square of alpha x e raised to minus a square is alpha square x square dx is equal to 1. Okay, and therefore this can be written as, you take an outside, and therefore this an is mod of an square integration hn square alpha x e raised to minus alpha square x square dx is equal to 1. Now we have to find out this value of the integration. Right here, so this is a mod of an square is equal to an into bracket minus infinity plus infinity h square alpha x e raised to minus alpha square x square dx is equal to 1. Now we are going to find out this is the equation, and integration of that is 1/2 alpha minus infinity plus infinity. So this h square zeta e raised to minus zeta square d zeta. Okay, and value of this is 1 upon alpha root pi 2 raised to n factorial is value of this integration. This is the standard integration one, and therefore put here, and hence it becomes an mod square root pi 2 raised to n factorial by alpha is equal to 1. Find out this value for the an, and therefore this an square is equal to alpha divided by root pi 2 raised to n factorial, and therefore an is equal to alpha divided by root pi 2 raised to n factorial by 1/2 raised to 1/2. So put this value of the constant in our SIN equation. Put this value in our SIN equation. We will come to the known, so a general expression for the wave function, and that can be written as I will write here. So this sin of x is equal to the value of an. The value of an is what? So that is alpha divided by root pi 2 raised to n factorial raised to 1/2. So this is the value of the normalized constant into h of zeta or alpha x into e raised to minus alpha square x square by 2. So this is your wave function, or normalized wave function we can say. Okay, now with different values of energy we have known. So this En0 we have seen. So En0 is equal to 1/2 h cross omega. So this is the ground state energy. Then with n is equal to 0, what is the wave function? So corresponding wave function and energy, and therefore first we put, so that is the n is equal to 0 here. So this n sin 0 of x is equal to, then it will becomes this alpha divided by root pi raised to 1/2 remains as 1, and this hn of alpha x for n is equal to 0. So therefore this hn of alpha x for n is equal to 0, so this h0 is equal to 1. So this is Hermite polynomial of a degree h0 is 1, and therefore 1 into e raised to minus alpha square x square by 2. So this is the wave function. Okay, if we take the square of this, it will give our, so this is the wave function, and a mod of psi 0 square is equal to square, so it becomes alpha divided by root pi e raised to minus alpha square x square. So this is a probability, a density for the ground state. Okay, similarly we can find out the psi n is equal to 1, and n is equal to 1, so this is psi 1 of x is equal to alpha divided by 2 raised to n is, that is a 2 root pi raised to 1/2 into sin 1 alpha x and sin, so this is the hn alpha x, and n is equal to 1 is equal to 2 alpha x. So first harmonics of the Hermite polynomial is 2 alpha x, that we already known in the last MMP chapter. So that is the 2 alpha x into e raised to minus alpha square x square by 2. Okay, so this is your a wave function, a first wave function psi is equal to 1, first excited corresponding a probability is a psi 1 mod square is equal to alpha divided by 2 root pi square, so that is the 4 alpha square x square e raised to minus alpha square x square. So this is a probability of first excited state, psi 1. Okay, if we go for the diagrammatical point of view, then we have with the n is equal to 0, the wave function is given here. Okay, so this is the wave function for n is equal to 0, and this is the minus a, 0, a plus a. Okay, and on the y-axis, so this is the psi 0 of x. So this is the one loop here, and a probability density is psi 0 mod of psi 0 square. So this is the, and therefore this is the minus a and this is the plus a. So there is one tail outside the classical region, and so this dotted is quantum mechanically dotted is nothing but a classical probability. Now, as a classical probability at the mean position is a minimum, whereas at extreme position it is a max. Okay, for the extreme position it is the maximum. Now, but the probability in quantum mechanical probability, so there is a small probability of the particle finding outside the classical region. So behind this a plus, there is a small portion that rate. So this is the forbidden, classically forbidden, but a quantum mechanically there is a probability of the finding the particle outside this classical region from plus a, also at the from the minus a region also. So this is the difference between a classically and a quantum mechanic, and this phenomenon is called a tunneling effect. So this is the n is equal to 0. For the n is equal to 1, so this is the wave function. The n is equal to 0, n is equal to 1, so this is the wave function, and so there are the three nodes 1, 2 and 3. Here n is equal to 0, so there is a 1 node. Here n is equal to 1, 2 and 3 nodes are there, and therefore here the mod of the 1 square is showing like this, and therefore this is also the forbidden region, and there are the two bumps, and the dotted line is a classical probability distribution. This is the psi 3 wave function, and this one is the psi 3 mod square. So this is the probability density. So this shows that a classical result is different from a quantum mechanical one, and it is also shows that the tunneling effect in this case. The correspondence principle says that as this number goes on increasing, the quantum mechanical results gives a classical results also. And say we'll find out by taking this graph for the n is equal to large number, say 10, 16. In your textbook there are the two examples given. One is for the 10 and another is for the 16. We'll also draw for that 16 number, n is equal to 16, and how we'll see that a classical result and a quantum mechanical result are the nature is the same. If you draw a probability density curve for a large number of quantum number n, then see the all lower are at a ground state. Okay, whereas the upper end are gone increasing as n tends to number goes on increasing, and this dotted line is average of this both two, the average of both two. Therefore, this dotted line is the same as that of a classical probability distribution, and therefore correspondence principle state that as number n tends to increasing, a large number, say n tends to infinity, means it is going in large number, then quantum mechanical results are the same as those predicted by a classical theory. So this is a correspondence principle. So in large number, quantum mechanical results and classical results are the same, and therefore this is the correspondence principle. Now there is one more concept, and that is the parity. So first we see to clear this concept parity. So we have known that wave function sin of x is equal to alpha divided by root pi 2 raised to n factorial raised to 1 half hn of alpha x e raised to minus alpha square x square by 2. So this is a general wave function for a harmonic oscillator that we have already seen. Now in this equation, replace x is equal to minus x, and therefore the same thing we can write a sin of minus x is equal to alpha divided by root pi 2 raised to n factorial. So this is constant as it is. Hn, this x is replaced by minus x, and therefore this is the minus x. E raised to minus x square, then it has no change. Therefore this is the minus alpha square x square by 2. Okay. According to the a property of the Hermite polynomial, we have seen that hn of alpha x is equal to minus 1 raised to n hn of x, and therefore using this formula, this one can be written as hn of minus x is equal to minus 1 raised to n constant hn of alpha x e raised to minus. So this is nothing but our the original wave function, and this is a sin of alpha x. So this is a sin of x. Okay, so sin of x, and therefore this sin of minus x is equal to minus 1 raised to n hn of alpha x sin of x. Okay, here it depends on n is the even or odd. So n is when it is the odd function, then sin of minus x is equal to minus of sin of x, and therefore corresponding wave functions which are the psi 1, psi 3, psi 5, and these are called odd parity functions. Okay, and when n is even, sin of minus x is equal to sin of x, so it will become plus here, and therefore the corresponding wave functions which are sin 0x, sin 2x, sin 4x, all even, and all these functions are even parity functions, and therefore the harmonic oscillator contains either odd parity functions or even parity functions. So this is our a third part in which we have seen corresponding wave functions and probability distributions of that, and according to that we conclude that beyond the classical limit there is a small probability of the finding the particle beyond this classical limit, and this is called a tunneling effect. Okay, and next one is the correspondence principle. When this quantum number is going to a large number, when n tends to infinity, then a quantum mechanical results are same as that are predicted in a classical theory. So this is the correspondence principle, and our last one is a parity, and for the even parity and odd parity. So in your harmonic oscillator, so either even parity wave functions should be there or odd parity functions. So I request you all, so this is a big article, go through this three part separately and then combine it, and at one stroke you can write it in examination point of view.